Thank you, Dr. Lei. So I would like to remind you again that this session will be recorded, as we will have to send the recordings to those of us who are not convenient to join us live today because of time zone differences or other reasons. And if you wish, you can turn off your webcam if you're attending this session. And before we begin the rundown, we'd like to take a photo among the panelists first. So I'll take the screen capture. So may I invite those of you in the panel to turn on your webcam, and then I'll signal you, and then I'll take a picture.
So Jamie, so do you need to remove the screen share so that you have more space for the recording for screen cap?
Sure. Yes, I see everyone too. Okay. So Aliza and Gitaro, if convenient, please turn on your webcam. Thank you. Thank you. So thank you very much. So I'll say 1, 2, 3, cheese. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. And I'll share screen again. Okay, the next item is we are very honored to have invited Professor Lance Fung, the Region 10 Director, to give us a welcoming speech. Professor Lance Chen-Chit Fung is Emeritus Professor at the Murdoch University. He has published over 330 academic articles in the areas of neural networks, intelligent systems, computational intelligence, and other technologies, to name a few. He has been a dedicated volunteer at the IEEE for over 2 decades. He has served in a variety of positions on the executive committees of different units in IEEE. So may I now invite Professor Lance to give us the welcoming speech. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Jeremy. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. I bring you greetings from Perth, Western Australia, and you can see the background with the wonderful Cottesloe Beach, and I welcome everyone to come and visit us. On behalf of the IEEE Region 10 Executive Committee and the IEEE Region 10 Education Activities Committee, well, EAC, I welcome you to this first 2023 Region 10 EAC training and orientation sessions. And my name is Lance Fung, Region 10 Director 2023 to 2024. I thank Dr. Leon Lei, the Chair of the Region 10 EAC, and Jamie Moesch for organizing this session. And thanks to Jamie, IEEE Educational Activities Board Managing Director, for bringing us, being one of our key speakers and staying up late at night at USA East Coast, and who will share with us the products and the support from IEEE EAB. And thanks to Dr. Aliza, EAC member, who will speak on website, Facebook, and YouTube orientation. And of course, thanks again to Dr. Leon Lei for speaking on grants and submission and support. For all of you present in this webinar, I trust you have the interest, the passion, the desire, and the calling to volunteer and be involved in one of the key IEEE strategic plan goals, which is education. Personally, I have the honors in developing the IEEE Strategic Plan 2020 to 2025 when I was the chair of the New Initiatives Committee. And out of the 5 goals, if you take a look from the website of IEEE, you may note that 4 of them are specifically related and focused on education. If I may just read them out, drive global innovation through broad collaboration and the sharing of knowledge. Sharing of knowledge is a typical example of education. Enhance public understanding of engineering and technology and pursue standards for the practical application. Again, how do we make the public to understand and teach them? Education. Be a trusted source of educational services and resources to support lifelong learning. And this one is blatantly, you can see coming out, the importance of education, as far as IEEE is concerned, and serving the community, not only just simply during the time of them in school or university, but really lifelong learning, and provide opportunities for career and professional development. Obviously, in today's world, no one is able to just maintain the same level of knowledge and sustain in the person's job or career development. You really need to be ongoing to develop, to learn, and to be educated. So this is where IEEE EAB and the Region 10 EAC comes in. And Jamie's sharing will be significant in bringing us the latest updates from EAB, and I look forward to hear that. And for those of you are not familiar with IEEE EAC, the Region 10 EAC, the objectives are to implement programs specifically intended to serve and benefit IEEE members in educational pursuits, the engineering and scientific community, and the general public in the Asia and Pacific region. And in order to achieve these objectives, the Region 10 EAC provides the guidance and assistance to the region entities in organizing pre-college education programs, workshops related to tri-engineering, STEM, and other EAC-related activities, and to publicize educational activities available from IEEE. So again, workshop like this one is an opportunity to share with you what do we have. So the chair and the member of the IEEE Region 10 EAC therefore are responsible to work with you to inspire, to enable, to empower, and to engage members within the specific focus on educational activities, so as to fulfill the mission of IEEE to enhance the members' growth and development, and to provide a professional home. And as a matter of fact, these are the visions and the missions of IEEE members and Geographic Activities Board. And we are, Region 10 is one of it, and we are aligned to it. So throughout today's session, you will have a global overview as well as a local perspectives of EA across IEEE, as well as within the IEEE Asia Pacific region. So may I finish my sharing with a quote I came across. The whole process of education is to turn mirrors into windows, by Sidney J. Harris. And through the educational activities, I believe we are transforming ourselves as well as those who will benefit from the activities, from being an inward looking, just looking at ourselves, but to outward looking towards the world. So you are helping Region 10 to become 10 out of 10. So thank you again for your commitment and your volunteering services. Have a good day. And I'm Leon Fung from Perth, Western Australia. Thank you. Now I'll pass it back to you, Jeremy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Fung, for your very informative and inspiring sharing. I'm sure our attendees have learned a lot about our committee and also our different projects. So may I now invite Dr. Leon Lei to share with us the R10 EAC 2022 activity report, and also share us about the plan for the EAC 2023 this year. Dr. Lei, please.
Yes, thanks, Jeremy, for the introduction. So let me change the slides, present slides mode. So on behalf of the EAC committee in 2022, I would like to, and also the chair, Professor Priti and Priti Picha. So I would like to report the activities last year, just a quick introduction. So last year we have also a strong team supporting Region 10 EAC reinvolvement, and also several of us also staying in 2023 EAC committee. So in particular, thanks Lance for being the advisor for the committee last year, and also Tokako, so will be the coming region director next round, Professor Tokako. And we also have another team, so called regional local ambassador team. So also supporting various local STEM events and also improvements in sessions. So actually we did several things. So first thing is on training workshops, just like today. Now last year, so because of the new normal, so we start to have some more hybrid events and virtual events and physical events. So we have several of them last year. So let me share some photos. So you can see we have some virtual events just like today. And also physical events. You can see lots of colleagues actually coming together to share experience and sharing ideas, etc. And then another one is on local initiative. The target audience will be more on local communities, K-12 students, etc. So we have actually lots of proposals submit, and we have around 15 of them complete by the end of the year. You can see we're actually using different kinds of language to reach to local, so using Malay, Hindi, and then also Korea, etc. So let me share some photos here. So you can see instead of reaching to professional members, you are reaching to high school students, and then have physical events, and also to share STEM knowledge, engineering knowledge, etc. And for example, the bottom right is from Korea. So they actually using Korean local language to talk about IEEE. And these are actually not just for members, but also for high school students. Hopefully, they will become future students member and eventually member YP, and then member, maybe senior member, and maybe some of them may become fellow in the future. And also, we also set up the YouTube channel just like the year before, and then we have uploading materials in different language in order to attract and also let more people, local communities know about IEEE. So if you are interested, so feel free to send us videos and we can upload to the YouTube channels. Another project is on capacity building. So the previous two are more on members and student members, so on local communities. So these are for members in higher education, in particular, helping them build up the capacity for TNL. So we have 8 projects complete. So in particular, you can see some of the examples. So the top left one is actually on data analysis. So educational data analysis, making the TNL to be more effective. And we also have some trainings and also some professional developments on cloud engineering, on all sort of that. And you can see the bottom left is actually on VR. So you can see the gadgets. So this is for university teachers and our members in universities. We also have another one is the new innovation chart. So it's not just for members in higher education or in community. So it's also talking about innovations in TNL. So in particular, there are 6 projects complete by the November 2022. So for example, in Malaysia, in Pakistan, India, and Hong Kong. So the Hong Kong is actually arranged by me. You can see from the bottom right. So using MOOCs as a channel, as a media to teach students about STEM knowledge. So there are so many MOOCs around the world right now, if I remember. So last year we have 20,000 MOOCs in the whole MOOC camp market, and most of them actually are STEM. So we use those as a material to educate higher education, high school students, and let them get prepared for their STEM subjects in higher education. And also we have also some physical events in India and Pakistan. So that's what I want to share for 2022. So starting we were in new normal, start to have more and more hybrid and physical events starting from last year. So and then this year we will have some other plans. So let me change to another slide deck. Okay, so let me change to another slide deck. This one, and then let me change. Okay, so this is this year plan. So again, we are now in a new normal. So we expect to have more and more physical events or hybrid events to have more interactions. So in order to build up the trust and interactions and share the knowledge and ideas. So first of all, let's talk about the community structure. So again, thanks Professor Priti Vijay, so to be the advisor, and also we have a vice chair. So Professor Pima. So maybe Pima can say a few words.
Good morning. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity as a vice chair of EAC committee. In India, last year we conducted many workshops face-to-face as well as in virtual mode. And this year also we are committed to at least do 4 India level event into several sections during the conferences where I think Region 10 will be attending most. So I will plan in such a manner in India that because I am India Council EAC Vice Chair also, so we will plan with every Region 10 activity, we will also conduct this education activity in India, so that mostly the delegates from Region 10 can attend those workshop in India. Thank you.
Yes, thanks, Pima, for the introduction. So besides Pima, we also have colleagues from different sections and from different background, etc. So we have Ray, we have Jeremy, both of them from Hong Kong, and also Ambridge from Australia, Yampin from Beijing, and Alicia and also Harvest from Malaysia, Yutaro from Tokyo, and also Chan Xin from Taipei. So some of them is in today's meeting. Some of them are is in business trip or in some other IEEE meetings right now. So we will work. The whole team will work for all of you, support all of you, the sessions and then councils to organize educational activities. And we also have some students in terms of doing some support tasks, etc. So I would like to talk about mainly 3 projects. So although the second project we have A and B, the first one is on virtual training, and then project 2A and project 2B will be about the development grant. So we will just quickly go through because we will later on in later sessions we also go through this again, and then the last one will be the EA awards. So I just give a brief overview for this year's activities. So we will have again similarly we have we will have a virtual training for EAC because we are from different regions, etc. So today we start to have the first workshop on the grant, and then later on we will also have for EAC itself. So we also run some workshops so by committee members. So on educational data mining, on cross sessions, student workshops on AI, etc. And then we also have some experience sharing on how to organize EAs later on. So we will try to share the materials through social networks, and this year we talk about the Facebook, etc., and website, etc. So more information will be sent later on. So will the slides available later? Yes. So we will provide the recordings and slides later on to all the registrations, and also we will post on the website. And at the end, we also have the K-12 STEM education. So we are have initial discussions with the EAP how to run the workshops, in particular maybe on the teleconference. So the second project is 2A on the development grant, which is the original one. We focus on pre-university, university, continuing education. So if some of you are also working on high schools or enriching local, so this will be the track. So the arrangement will be similar to last year. And we will try to select some projects that have a good reach and try to reach to the audience, try to meet the project is lawful and feasible to implement. We try to measure whether there will be a high reach, so and also reaching to the public also. And we also try to have a higher priority for some projects which will try to leverage on EAB products, or in particular IEEE Trial Engineering, or gathering some support from EAB, from Education Society, or some other units. So I will illustrate this later on in later sessions. So remember the tentative schedule. So we will have the deadline on the mid-March, and then know the results on the 30th of April, and then we'll have several months to run. So May until August, and then you can start to reporting on the September. So this is the general track. And then we also have another one which is called theme-based. So mainly target on 3 sections. So SDG related in particular, which is on SDG 5, 7, 11, and 13. So for SDG 5 is about gender equality. That means women in engineering. So if you have a woman in engineering projects or STEM for girls, etc., so which will be fall into this SDG 5. And then if your project is about climate change, so most likely it should be fall within 7, 11, or 13. So if your project is also related to climate change, so which will be fall into this one. And then we also have this on the SDG related. We also have the ILN. So on so ILN is a network, so or a professional development resources from EAB. So with lots of the training material. So if you have some projects related to ILN Pro, please let me know. We can communicate and work together. And we also encourage cross-section arrangement. So if you have different OUs joining together to make a bigger project with bigger impact, so you can also apply for these theme-based grant. So why do we have theme-based and general track? So it's because we have different funding and arrangement. For general track, so the previous one, we have for face-to-face maximum 400, and then for virtual will be maximum 250. And if we will go for the special track, the theme-based track, so the face-to-face or hybrid will be 600, and then virtual activities will be 375. So this is the first requirement or first rules. And the second rules is about the matching policy. So we this year we try to align with the Region 10 matching fund policy. So if you are from council, so we'll be supported by 90%. So if you are from small sections, so also with more support. But if you have a larger section, so we hope that actually the section will also support more. So that's why for large section project, it will be supported by just 50% of the total fund. So that's why there will be different arrangement. So that's please consider working with council or with working with other OUs together to go for some other projects or for the cross-section development. So more details, so please check the website, and I will also talk about this later on. And then for details, so this is the actually, so if you have to run some projects in the early stage, so March or April, so we also have a quick submission. So the deadline will be next week, and then we have to run some activities on March and April. We accept these fast track is because we have from different members that actually they want to run some events in March and April because of the school calendar. So that's why we propose this one. But we, as mentioned, so we will have a more strict requirements. So you don't expect to may not be able to get the funding. But this is a fast track one. And then the last one will be the EA awards. So again, we have within Region 10 we have 2 awards. So the EA Outstanding Group Award, which is for OUs, and then EA Outstanding Volunteer, which is for individual. So the deadline will be mid-May, and also will approve of the nomination around August. So this is within Region 10. And beyond Region 10, so they are also from EAB, they also have some other awards. So from, for example, professional development, and also pre-university education, etc. So if you are interested to apply for these projects, for this award, so please let us know, so we can work together for or support you for the application. So that's what I want to share. So let me pass the mic back to Jamie. So for more details, the grant application, etc. So we will have another sessions later on, maybe 10 minutes later, and we start to talk about details.
Thank you, Dr. Lei. So if you're interested or if you'd like to apply for any of these funding and grants, please let us know and contact us. So next, I would like to invite Mr. Jamie Moesch, who's the Educational Activities Board Managing Director, Educational Activities, to share with us the EAB Products and Support. So Jamie, please.
Are you able to hear me? Just give a thumbs up, maybe, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Great, perfect. Thank you so much. And you're able to see my slides?
Yeah, you can see it.
Wonderful, great. Thank you all. Good morning. It's nice to be up late and support Region 10, because the folks in Region 10 are up so late so many times. I can't tell you the amount of times I've been on with your Region Director, Dr. Fung, at very late hours and in very early hours his time. So we appreciate all that you do, and quite frankly, we appreciate all that you do within education, within Region 10. You're one of the largest and fastest growing regions, and the work you do across your region in education is phenomenal. So keep up the good work. I'm going to try to get us back on time. I have a lot of slides. I saw someone in the chat said, are the slides going to be available? And I think the answer that Dr. Lei said was yes. And so I probably won't go through everything in detail, but I want you to remember a few key points. The first is my email address. If I can help you at all, feel free to reach out to me. I'm sure Leon and Parina and the rest of the education committee will be there. But if I can ever help you, please do not hesitate to reach out. I'm here as a resource for you. My team's job is to make you successful, the group that works at IEEE headquarters. So just know that email address. Lance talked about this. Education is very important to our members, and in our 5-year strategy that was designed after surveying members, you can see education is very important. Lance walked through some of these verbally, but career development and education and lifelong learning are critical to the whole organization. And education happens everywhere, right? You guys have region-based training, and so many sections have training, and societies have training, and affinity groups have training. It happens all over the place. And so we view our job in educational activities is trying to help coordinate that. We don't direct it, right? Part of the beauty of IEEE is our decentralized nature, the fact that you all feel ownership in your local area. And so our job in educational activities is to facilitate, to optimize, and to make it more effective for you, and to do some degree of coordination. But again, we don't mandate anything. Our job is to help guide and support. Again, the beauty of IEEE is our decentralized nature. In educational activities, Leon was going through, we have pre-university programs, which are all under the Tri-Engineering brand, university activities, activities for young professionals, and activities for longer term professionals. And so the main thing we do in the pre-university space is the tryengineering.org website. We added an entire section of tryengineering.org just to support IEEE volunteers. We know that our secret weapon as an organization is our volunteers. You are our secret sauce. You are spectacular. You make IEEE who we are. And we knew that many volunteers were doing STEM outreach activities, but it wasn't easy for them. And so we have a whole section of the website called the STEM portal designed for volunteers. The most used part of the website are all the resources for teachers. So there's all sorts of resources for teachers, free. It's all free and all of it freely available. So I would encourage you to take a look at tryengineering.org, but let volunteers in your section know if they want to do outreach for students pre-college, this is the place to do it. And there's tons of free resources. And I think Leon's going to talk about grants and things like that that we offer. As I mentioned, we have tons of resources for teachers, over 100 lesson plans that they can use to teach engineering and technology. We partner with societies on Try Engineering Tuesday events. Just so many resources. Again, I'm conscious of time. This is just an example of a lesson plan. And in the lesson plan, it's all in HTML now. We used to have them in PDF. The reason it's in HTML is we can get the benefit of using Google Translate. And if your language is not well supported by Google Translate, I'm going to show you in a second that we have a way for you to help improve those translations. But everything's available. It's all designed by age level. They do explain the background concept. They have hands-on activities with low-cost materials for students to actually experience engineering opportunities in the classroom. So we're pretty proud of tryengineering.org. Please get the word out if you haven't heard about it. As I mentioned, we have the entire section for volunteers to share, give back, and inspire. If you are doing something for pre-university students in your area, please consider sharing what you're doing on tryengineering.org in the volunteer section of the STEM portal. What you're doing in Hong Kong or what you're doing in Delhi can make a difference and make something better for an IEEE volunteer in Vancouver or Buenos Aires. And by the way, you might benefit from them in Buenos Aires and what they did and learn about their activities. There's some amazing things happening in Region 9 and Region 7. And so sharing what you're doing is really beneficial because other volunteers can learn from it. And this just gives you an idea. If you want to check out those resources, you click on that volunteer tab, you can click share. And in that sharing, it lets you go ahead and share the programs that you're offering in your area. You can list your events. It's all integrated with vTools for those of you familiar with MGA. And then we have a lot of resources for volunteers, how-to guides, how to do research, how to get grants for your activities, etc. As Leon mentioned, I'm not going to spend time on this because I know he's going to talk about the grants. We offer grants for pre-university activities. I believe last year there were 40 grants issued. And so if you're doing activity in your area, there's a grants program, all links in these slides. I mentioned translations. I think there's 100 languages through the Google Translate engine. And if you want to improve the language in your area, we can give you back-end access to improve that translation that's automatic from Google. If you email Donna, she'll help you do that. We have teams that are working on a number of languages. IEEE Reach is a pre-university resource that's all about teaching history, but teaching engineering through teaching history. And so if you go to reach.ieee.org, it's related to Try Engineering. It's created by the IEEE History Center. But again, free lesson plans, free resources for teachers. So instead of necessarily a science teacher teaching it, it might be a history or social studies teacher. And we give them lesson plans to teach engineering in the classroom. This just gives you an idea of the history of the radio and how it got started. Is just one of the many lessons under IEEE Reach. So this is these are some more email addresses. Stamatis is our chair of pre-university activities, and Donna manages our pre-university activities. So feel free to reach out, sign up for more information. We also do university activities. So the Teaching Excellence Hub is new. We want more content. Teaching Excellence Hub is designed for educators at the university level and administrators. And the Teaching Excellence Hub, the idea is to start it to become almost like the Try Engineering, but for the university level. So we want content. If you're willing to post information or lessons or help blog for us, we would love that. And you could get your name and brand out there. It does get peer reviewed, so it's not guaranteed that you'll get posted. But teaching.ieee.org is designed to eventually become like the Try Engineering for university teachers. The Honor Society, Eta Kappa Nu, I believe there's 11 Eta Kappa Nu chapters in Region 10 now, and it grows. This is for the best and brightest students. They have the opportunity to join. But the really interesting thing is those students have to do community service. And so this is a great opportunity to get very, very, very high performing students to give back in your community. And we've got a few chapters. If you're interested, you can contact that email, info@hkn.org for more information. EPICS and IEEE is another grant program. The idea with EPICS and IEEE is to allow students to use grant money to improve their community, so they can take what they learned in school and do a project to make their community better. In Puerto Rico, they did things after the earthquake for power. After the hurricane for power. In Haiti, they did it for access to communications and power. All sorts of different examples of projects, but the students lead and run a hand-on project, and the grants can be up to $10,000 US. And that website is epics.ieee.org. ILN, I hope many of you are familiar with that. That's the main hub for e-learning at IEEE. We have content from over 40 organizations across IEEE, and people have all sorts of different e-learning webinars, etc. If your professional members, if your academic members want to learn about a concept, send them to iln.ieee.org and they can start taking e-learning from there. We also have a number of free webinars, virtual events. Those are all available. And there's a bit.ly link there, but you can also go to the Educational Activities website and learn more. English for Technical Professionals is of particular note in Region 10. It's a program of education for those who might have English as a second language, but need to apply it in English in a technical environment. And so it's got reading skills, speaking skills, listening, etc. And there's real-time feedback engines. This was designed with professional language learning pedagogy behind it, and experts helped build it for us. So this is of particular interest and gets a lot of usage in Region 10. Our members find it's all accessible in ILN. And then Leon mentioned the awards, so I don't want to mention those again, but please, we want to honor amazing things happening. We've had many awardees from Region 10. Please consider nominating people who are doing great things in education in your region. There's just so many good things happening in Region 10. It would be great to have them be able to get awarded this November. And the last thing I want to talk about, it's next to me on my screen, IEEE Education Week. Why do we do it? Because people didn't know what IEEE used to do in education. So Education Week is all about celebrating education all across IEEE for one particular pointed week. We do education all year long, but the idea of creating a week about education is just to remind people education is happening all across IEEE. And so the website allows you to post Region 10 events. It allows you to post your section or chapter or student branch events. And it really is a way to showcase the amazing things that are happening educationally across this great organization. So please do take the time to check it out and post your events. And we partner, right? As I mentioned, education happens not through just educational activities. And so we try to partner with other organizations across IEEE for all that we do. Finally, the last resource, remember, you want my email address, and the other thing you want is ea.ieee.org. If you want information about what's happening in educational activities, it's ea.ieee.org. So, Leon, I don't think I got through it as fast as I should have, but hopefully that was a lot of information and rapid fire. And if you remember two things, it's my email address and that website, and we're here to help you. Thank you all very, very much for all you do.
Yes, thanks, Jamie, for the introduction, and also let's meet physically in April. Yes, for the meeting. Yes, thank you. So let me pass the. So I should Jeremy. So I will be the one to talk about the grant, right?
Yeah. Thank
Okay,
you.
so
Thank
let me
you,
share the
Jeremy,
screen.
for the introduction. Yeah, Leon, please.
Okay, so so let me talk a little bit more about the grant. So yes, so first of all, we will have the Region 10 grant, and also we will talk a little bit about the grants actually from other OUs. So not just from EAB, but also some other OUs that may be helpful. So first of all, for the EA development grant, if you get into this link, so the first of all, go to EA and then Region 10, you can search online, and you can go to call for proposals and general chat. You will see all the information here stating the purpose, the categories, so and then all kinds of criteria and then regulations for the funding and matching, etc., guidelines, submissions, etc. So you can read for details. And of course, if you have any concerns or problems, so please contact me or any of the OC committee members, and then for more information. So more important is actually, and also this is a theme-based track. So again, so with similar content, but more dedicated on 3 things. So SDG, cross-section, and also on ILN. So just remember, so we are not charged for reimbursement of applying the ILN. So if you actually go for ILN courses, you need to pay for some money. Some of them are free, some of them you have to pay. So this project is not for reimbursement of the cost registration. So you can go for professional activities committee for the reimbursement scheme. So you can check the link for more information. But we are more on try to support different people to get into this ILN, to know more about ILN. And then of course the details will be very similar, but for the theme base, so you also have to add something extra, which is on which SDG you are working on, how OUs will collaborate together for the cross-section. And IEEE, the ILN will have to specify how your project can promote ILN to members, student members, professional members, and in Region 10. So remember, for theme-based, actually we have more money. So that's why we encourage you to seek for some projects which is related to one of these themes. So, and then you can check for details. So of course, at the end, you will see there are 2 things. So first of all is the submitting link, and second is the documentation. So where you can find out documentation or the templates, so which is here, the template download, and then you can see the link. So let me open the share the document for this one. So this is the grants proposal, so which is similar to last year. I just make some modifications. So for example, first of all, declare which section you are, and then fill in the details. So which is similar to previous years. So executive summary, and then approach, and then engagement strategy, and then impact, sustainability. So these are some that you have to work out for. And in particular, please kindly help is to have a more rigid measurement and specifications on the budget. So who will pay? Who will reimburse the? Who will pay for the matching grant? So how much money you spend? And also there are some items that you can go for the expense for reimbursement. So please check for the more details for what kind of items that you can go for reimbursement. And then how to use leverage on IEEE resources to make your projects to have a high impact and measurement of the effectiveness, etc. So remember, last year there are a number of applications that can be approved. It's because of the endorsement. So we can see the signature and also who will be responsible for the matching grant. So please contact the person, find a person for providing a matching grant such that you have the money for the project. So of course, for more details or for any inquiries, feel free to contact me. And then let me share another thing. Is the submission link. Oh, let me go for the where's the submission link? So this is the submission link. So once you click on the link, so if you will realize you have the submission link here. So you have the submit portal, submit proposal 10 EAC 2023. We'll get to this link, which is similar to the previous one. So just need to fill in a name, emails, declare which categories you are, and then declare which OU you are. So remember, you don't need to fill in the name, the code. What you need to do is, for example, at Hong Kong Session Education Society Chapter, or the Kyoto Session or Australia Council, just fill in here, and then also declare which location you are, because we have to identify whether your sections are actually from large session or small session or medium session or council. Please let us know. And then the rest is just copy and paste from your proposal. So why we need to duplicate the things is because we want to do some computational analysis. So through the spreadsheet, so that's why we need something here in order to gather the keywords. And of course, in details, so on the final approval or review, we really mainly depends on the PDF or the proposal, the document. But for speed up the review process, so please kindly have to copy and paste the contents on the document and put it here. So and then we can have a faster review process. And remember, so again, we will ask you whether the proposal will be endorsed by the by a person with the commitment of providing a grant. So most of the time will be the session or the council or some other OUs in IEEE. So please remember, try to find a colleague or a person who is responsible for providing a matching fund. So this is the Region 10 funding. So actually, if you go to, so this is from Region 10. There are lots of funding from us, but we also let you know, actually, there are also some support from other OUs. So actually, I go through different societies and boards, and I actually identify some of them. So some of them are from technical societies. They go for some general activity grant. Some of them go for high school outreach activities, and then they also, for example, the robotics, they also provide grant for technical education, etc. So I strongly advise you to try to also contact technical societies to go for some grant. And then within EAB, there are also some grants, and also from MGAs. For example, for WIE, if you are STEM for girls, you also have the activity grants, and YP, you also have the activity grants. So you can also consider apply these activity grants for educational activities. And for EAB, so as mentioned, you have the EPICS, and also the EAB, the STEM engineering, STEM portal grant. So just a quick information. So there are some grants available, and then the deadline will be the end of February, end of this month. So if you are interested to apply for pre-university STEM activities, go for these kind of activities. So consider to apply for engineering projects. So this grant for the application, in particular, Communication Society also support up to 10,000 for the EA development. So if you have some projects related to communication, so please also feel free to apply these grants. So these are some, for more details, actually I applied these 2 years ago. So if you want me to give you some advice how to apply this grant, so please also can directly contact me. I can help you to brief up the proposal. And then etc. Yes. And we also have different OUs in Region 10 successfully applied this grant last year. So I think we actually in Region 10 we have some good projects, and it's worthwhile to also look for some other fundings to scale up the impact. So that's what I want to share for the funding, internal funding and external funding. And as mentioned, so please consider also the projects or the funding from EAB as well as from MGA and from other technical societies to get enough funding to build up the activities and also construct the activities to benefit more STEM students in high school. So that was I want to share. So let me pass the mic back to Jamie.
Thank you, Leon. So, thank you both, Jamie and Leon, for sharing with us all these meaningful projects and initiatives and funding and grants. So we encourage you to consider them. And next, we'll have Dr. Aliza Ralib to share with us our website, Facebook, and YouTube for more information about how to learn about the EAC. Dr. Ralib, please.
Okay. Can you hear me, Jeremy?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Thank you. So let me share my screen. I think the one that I'm going to share with you is almost just additional with what Leon already explained just now. Is my screen, can you see my shared screen?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So this is our website for IEEE Region 10 educational activities. So for the overview of the latest update, I'll put it here. So feel free to frequently visit our websites. So the one that Leon explained before is about the last year outcome. It also can be viewed here, and all the future EAC training will post it here, so you can register for the next training. And I would like to briefly go through again this one. So we have a different track from the last 2 years. For the last 2 years, we believe we have a Richie local and other 5 tracks, but for this year we made it only 2. The first one is general track, like what Leon explained just now. So this is more focused on the pre-university. So inside here, the highlight here, what is the difference between the last year is we have face-to-face, there is maximum 400 USD, but for virtual is 250 USD. And as Leon said just now, we need to have the matching grant. So it depends on your section, either it's large, medium, or small. You will be supported depending on the percentage of your section. Okay, so the link of the submission of proposal, as what Leon showed just now, is also here. So we do also have this team-based track. So inside the team-based, this is a different from the last year. So here we have SDG, cross-section, and the learning network. So you can choose either one. And the cap for this is a bit higher compared for just now. Face-to-face is maximum 600. And the virtual is maximum 365 USD. And I also would like to also highlight for this year, if in case you would like to organize events on March or April, that is very soon. So you can just fill the templates and email to Leon in this email. So it will cut on the Google form, so you can just directly email to him, where we can find the template from what Leon showed just now. You just go to the template download, and here is the template, and here is the submission link. So later, once you receive the grant, so it will be under the reimbursement. So you need to show the report of your project and the claim and submit again to us. We will provide the link later. Okay, and this is about the website. Okay, on top of the website, you can also communicate with us through the Facebook. So feel free to like our Facebook. So we will show you the latest information inside our Facebook. So let's say for the last year, we have all the recipients for all the grants. It's published in the website, in the Facebook. Okay, and the last one is our YouTube. So this is our R10 YouTube. So if let's say you have your event conducted in virtual, So you can share the recorded and we can upload inside our YouTube so it can be shared to all throughout the IEEE all over the region. So this is all the previous activity done on the last year. So we have some from Indonesia, this is from India, and we have some how to promote our membership and tutorial on the different type of language, India, Chinese, or other language. Okay, and also we do have some previous webinars, so feel free to watch this and upcoming in France. So we will also upload all the activities that you have conducted and populate each year. So I think that's all from me, Jeremy.
Okay, thank you, Aliza. So thanks for walking us through the different channels and how to learn more about EAC and so on. And finally, may I invite Dr. Lei again to give us some closing remarks, and also if you have any questions, you can feel free to leave them in the chat and talk to us also. Yeah, Dr. Lei, please.
Yeah, so we just have a few minutes, so feel free to raise questions through the chat room or voice it out. So before I say a few words, maybe I would like to introduce Lance for saying a few words before the end of this meeting. So yes, Lance, please.
Thank you, Leon. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Once again, I would like to express my appreciation and thanks to Jamie and Lisa, Leon, Jeremy, Prina for your time and participation. And in particular, well, I can see that you have broadened the opportunities and bring to everyone, not only just the resources and support just within Region 10, but rather you introduce everyone the opportunity through the technical society and also EAB awards, etc. It is important that for us to recognize the work of the volunteers. And also for Jamie for sharing with us all the updated products and services. And personally, I do have some personal connection with some of those event resources. Say, for example, like the local, reaching local. Well, that was started in 2020 when we have the pandemic. And Professor Toshio was the one who suggested to have the local languages. And I was the EAC chair at that time, and then we started that one. And I can see that one has been growing and is benefiting a much wider community. And I also remember Reach, IEEE Reach. Well, that was again another fantastic service from IEEE. Again, I have personal connection in the sense that I was in the New Initiatives Committee, and I met the Kelly, who the one who started it, and then she was originally supported by History Committee, and then I introduced her to the NIC, and then we give additional funding. And now that particular project has also benefited a lot of teachers, not only just within US, but also across the world as well. So these are the examples. I would like urge everyone to look at the opportunities, not only just within the Region 10, and because if you take a look at our OU analytic, a lot of the volunteering positions are unfilled. So we really need everyone, you have the passion and the desire to contribute to this area. And also there are a lot of support as well. And one of the key things is we're also looking for sustainability. Because if you're looking for just support at one-off, even at the most couple of years, you will not be able to sustain. You also try to think about how to sustain it in the long term as well. So these are the few words. And once again, thank you so much for your volunteering services. As I have said in the chat, you all are heroes. Thank you so much.
Yes, thanks, Lance, for the introduction. So, so see if any colleagues or members have any questions for Lance, for me, or for Jamie from EAB. Yeah. So if you have any questions, so feel free to reach to any of us or through email. So we are always welcome to help you to support everybody to work better and have bringing greater impact and also benefiting local communities. So that's what we want to share. And again, so remember for EAB grants, the deadline will be most likely will be the end of this month. So if you want to go for EAB development grant, please consider and work it fast. And for Region 10 development grants, so the end, unless you go for trust track, otherwise the deadline will be the mid-March. So also you can also discuss with your councils on sessions for support, etc. Also, I can work with you to try to liaise and to try to make the proposal to be more to be more comprehensive and bringing some projects that is more sustainable and greater impact, and also improving or reaching to local communities. That was what we want to know. We want to do. So so if no more questions or comments from participants, so maybe that's the end of today's meeting and webinar. So hope everybody have a fruitful weekend. So thank you everybody.
Thank you so much, everyone. So I'll decide, should I go to the beach this afternoon or not?
Yes, thanks.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, so we have one question, so whether we can collaborate with industries. Yeah, so feel free to connect with industries for working out the educational activities. So thanks, Jamie. So yeah, so being so late. So hope you actually have a good weekend. So see you later in the April. Yes.
Pleasure. Thank you very much, Leon, and thank you. Nice work, everyone. A pleasure to be here. Have a great evening.
Yeah.
Or have a great day.
Yes, thanks.